So I have copy pasted this code. I'm going to ask ChatGPT, find an input on which this fails. Paste in the code. This is a non-trivial piece of code. So let's see if ChatGPT can figure out why this code is wrong, an input on which it fails. So let's take a look at what ChatGPT has produced. So it has read the task, it has read the doc string, and it knows that if all prices are the same, then there is no opportunity to make profit. And then, according to the given doc string, we should be returning -1, -1. It continues to say the expected output is -1, -1. And it seems that we're getting that. Now it is trying more test cases, single price, and it is trying just that. Once again, there is no opportunity to make profit. Prices are decreasing. So do you see how ChatGPT is making use of its general knowledge of how people test code, and it is applying that general knowledge to the specific problem that we are looking at here. This is why using such tools in support of our task of writing good test cases and checking code on various inputs, tools like ChatGPT are really, really helpful in this case. So it's trying many cases. Let's see if it's finally able to find out. It says fixing these cases, and then it's giving me an improved code. I don't want an improved code. I want an input on which it fails, right? So apparently it fails here. So let's read this carefully. It says multiple valid pairs with the same profit. The function returns the pair that occurs first, earliest by day, when multiple pairs result in the same profit. However, it's possible to have two pairs. Of course it is possible. In fact, the doc string tells us what to do if we have multiple pairs. Remember, we want the closest pair. And if the closest pair happens at multiple instances, we want the first such pair. We want to buy as quickly as possible. So it says, however, it's possible to have two such pairs with the same profit but different day instances. The function should consider the closest pair, but the current logic just picks the first one it encounters. So you see, ChatGPT has not realized that that is exactly what it should do. So it is proposing an input. And apparently on this input, this code should fail. Let's try and first see what ChatGPT thinks the answer should be. Well, the expected answer is 0, 1. Yes, that is the expected answer, because buying on day 0 and selling on day 1 is the one of two ways to earn the maximum profit. The other is to buy on day 2 and sell on day 3, but we might as well earn that same profit earlier. So the expected answer is 0, 1. It does not realize in this case that the given code actually does produce the answer 0, 1, even though it could actually execute that code. So let's confirm this firstly. Go over here. Let's take ChatGPT's suggestion, which is not going to work. It's not going to be a counterexample because the expected answer is 0, 1. And this code actually will return 0, 1. So if we are correct, then this should not be a counterexample. This should merely be an input on which the code works, and that indeed is the feedback that we are getting. This is not a counterexample. So it turns out that when I tried this in middle of 2025, I did not see any counterexample. ChatGPT then went ahead and produced some better code, but I'm not interested in the better code for the purposes of Refute. Let me try and prompt ChatGPT to forget about the code, just find me an input on which it fails. So let me say that, right? So the given code works correctly on the input, this one, right? Give me a failing input. Let's see if it can think a bit more. So it says you're right. Now it is going to try and modify that input. Let's see what it produces. It produces this input, 32617. Okay. Now, what is the maximum profit we can earn here? Well, according to it, the maximum profit is buy on day 1 and sell on day 4. So buy on day 1, that's index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4. But why should we buy on day 1 at price 2? It would be better to buy on day 3 at price 1. That would be cheaper. And by buying on day 3, we could earn a profit of 6, whereas buying on day 1 and selling on day 4 would only earn us a profit of 5. So this doesn't seem to be correct at all. Here again, we're running into errors that generative AI can produce. Now it goes on to hallucinate some reason why the given code is failing, and then again it is interested in fixing the issue, which we're not interested in. Just to confirm, on this input, the code is actually going to work. So let us copy paste what ChatGPT is suggesting. It's suggesting that this is a counterexample, and it's suggesting that 1,4 is the expected answer. Let us try that here. So according to ChatGPT, this is a counterexample input. The expected answer is 1,4. But actually, what this code returns correctly is 3,4. So ChatGPT in this case is incorrect. It says 1,4 is not the expected input for this list of prices. In fact, if we change this to 3,4, we will find that this is in fact not a counterexample. So ChatGPT here failed to find a counterexample. This is why you and I must develop this skill. We can use tools like ChatGPT to suggest interesting inputs. We can use tools like ChatGPT to identify potentially incorrect areas of the code, and perhaps with these hints, we could develop an input on which the code fails. But again, don't blindly trust what it has to say. In this case, ChatGPT failed to produce a counterexample. I will leave it to you to actually try and find an input on which this code fails.